Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lugness Monster, and recently on Instagram, Yakface did confirm that we would be getting a 20th anniversary of Attack the Clones wave. So we don't really know exactly what this means, whether it's going to be like four figures, kind of like the Phantom Menace figures, or if it's going to be an entire wave of like 15 figures like the A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back waves. But I'm going to ponder the question, like, what are we going to get with these figures, and I'll go over my thoughts on everything we could get. That is including all of the, 15 mainline figures, different exclusive figures, deluxe figures, vehicles, and all that kind of stuff like we kind of did get already last year for 2020 with Empire Strikes Back. We got a ton of different stuff, so I'm going to kind of go along, like, Empire Strikes Back there as a baseline for what we could get with Attack the Clones. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Of course, real quick, if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now, because you do actually have to be subscribed to enter our 5,000 subscriber giveaway, which is this Clone Wars Arc Trooper Echo. It is sealed and ready to ship once we hit 5K, so make sure you do hit that sub button and on to the video. So first up, before you get into the figures that we could get, I do want to talk about the packaging. What could the packaging be for this? I think there's really only two options. One is the vintage collection style card back that just says Attack the Clones. I'll throw up an example of what I'm talking about and then the picture of the figure. We did get this style for all of the original trilogy figures with A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, so this could be an option. But I think this could go in a little bit of a different direction. For the Phantom Menace wave, we actually did get the retro Phantom Menace card backs. I'll throw up what I'm talking about, and those were super cool. So along that lines, we could get the Attack the Clones retro card backs, which are not as cool as the Phantom Menace, but they're still pretty cool. I do like how they look. I just don't think they'll sell as well as the vintage collection style card backs. I don't know, I just feel like those sell a little bit better than the Attack the Clones ones, but I know there are a ton of, younger kids, I guess, that grew up watching the prequels that are now kind of like me, which are now at the age where some of those retro card backs are super nostalgic for them, and I'd love to see that Attack the Clones retro card. And just a little bit more proof on like why we could get this. I know we did get the Clone Wars ones. I'll throw up those, which were throwbacks to the Clone Wars packaging, and we also got throwbacks to the Power of the Force packaging, which will release later in 2021. And we will also be getting the 2003 throwback Clone Wars packaging in 2022. So yeah, they're doing a ton of these throwback packaging stuff, and I'd love to see them do it with Attack the Clones as well. So starting it off with the first wave, wave 1 of the 20th anniversary Attack the Clones will be 5 figures like normally. At least this is my prediction. We could just get those 4 exclusive figures like we did with Phantom Menace, but I'm guessing we will get like an entire just 15 figure wave of these guys. For wave 1, which will be 5 figures, my predictions will be a re-release of the episode 2 Obi-Wan as shown on screen, a release of the episode 2 Anakin as shown on screen, a brand new figure which hasn't been seen yet. It might get released beforehand, or it might make its first appearance in this wave. My guess will be a Zam Wesell, as she's I guess kind of the main villain or main bad guy of the opening act, so I think it'd be pretty necessary to get her, and we don't have her in the Black Series yet, so I think that'd be a really good pick. Coming at the number 4 figure, I'm gonna give it to Jango, as he is also kind of in that opening scene there. While he does wear a different armor, I think we will get the re-release of the original Jango Fett with the scuffed off armor from the Geonosian Arena battle, and I think this is just because we haven't got a re-release of this figure in a long time, so a nice photo real update for that figure will be great. Obviously we did get the Gaming Greats version, which is a different armor, but I think they will re-release the original version. And then last up will be a re-release of the Episode 1 Clone Trooper. I'm sorry, Episode 2 Clone Trooper. Phase 1 is what I meant to say. The Phase 1 brand new body mold Clone Trooper. Great figure, highly recommended if you don't have it, and this is just a really good time to re-release the figure, you know, being 20th anniversary of Attack the Clones. And honestly, I'd be very upset if they don't have this in the line. Like, it just wouldn't make any sense for them to do Attack the Clones and not include any clones, so. Wave 2, my guess is actually going to be a Padme. I think we're going to be getting a re-release of the one we already have. I'm hoping we get more versions of her in the future, like, you know, she wears tons of different outfits in the movie, so I'm hoping for the ripped version eventually. I'm hoping for, honestly, all the outfits she wears I'd love to get sometime in the Black Series, but, you know, I'll start throwing up just Padme photos, I guess. but all of those would be nice to see. I don't really care which one we get, but I'd like to see some of them in this line. Number 2, I think, is going to be a Geonosian. I think what better time to release a Geonosian than Attack the Clones, and might make a really good first appearance on that episode 2 card back. So another one that we haven't had yet, so it's not a guaranteed to be released in the line, but I think it's one of those which it's just a perfect way to get it into the Black Series, and it would look so good in one of those Attack the Clone card backs. Next up is a silver C-3PO. Now this guy is pretty freaking cool, I do have to say. I really like this silver grayish C-3PO, and honestly it's just a simple repaint, and I know some people are like, is this version going to be the one with the swappable droid head? I'm going to say no, because that one will be later in the video, so make sure to stay tuned to see where I put that. But this one will just be the plain re-release of the silverish C-3PO. But yeah, honestly, I definitely want to see how this figure looks. Coming at the 4 and 5 spot are both clones as well. I gave the Clone Sergeant and the Clone Commander the 4 and 5 spot. I think that these clone troopers with the colors have gone up quite a bit in value on the aftermarket, and some of them have not been released since the blue box. So yeah, I think it's definitely time for a re-release. Whether you want to re-release it, just a plain re-release of what we got, or if you want to do a re-deco of the new clone body, either way works. I would prefer the new clone body, but just a re-release of the old one is perfectly fine as well. I don't care, I just want to see these figures hit stores again, considering that some of, I believe, the Sergeant and the Captain are very expensive on the aftermarket. And then for Wave 3, the 5 figures I picked was, of course, Count Dooku being the main villain of Attack the Clones. I figured he's definitely going to get a release in this wave, so Count Dooku's one of them. Number 2, I gave the Geonosian Battle Droid. It's just I guess one of the main infantries of Attack the Clones, and we do already have this figure, so it'll just be a re-release of that. 3, I gave to the Mace Windu figure, as he is also a decently sized character in Attack the Clones. He does kill Jango Fett, so I think Mace Windu is a pretty reasonable re-release for this as well. And then again, I gave the 4 and 5 spot to the last 2 clones we don't have, which would be the Clone Captain and the Clone Lieutenant. Clone Captain, like I said, could either be a exact re-release or a redeco of the new body, but I think the Clone Lieutenant is where it gets interesting. I do not want a re-release of this. This Walgreens exclusive figure is bad. It was the wrong shade of blue. It had unnecessary paint chipping, which didn't match the rest of them, so I'd hope they completely do this figure, give it the right paint, the right color and everything, and make sure it blends in with the rest of the clones there. And like I said, don't care if it's on the old or the new body. But those were the main 15 figures in the line. There was also tons of other figures released for Empire Strikes Back, including 2-packs, vehicles, deluxe packs, and all that. So I'm going to go through all those figures and what I think we could get for Attack the Clones. For a deluxe pack, I know we did get the probe droid, which I guess is not necessarily a figure, more of a statue, I guess you could say. But I think we could get a deluxe figure for Attack the Clones, and my guess would be either a Super Battle Droid or a Kaminoan. Both of those technically could be single release figures, but I think Hasbro could see them as big enough to be getting a deluxe release, and I'm perfectly fine with that because both are freaking awesome, and I'd love to see get some kind of deluxe release, as we haven't got figures of them at all yet. And the Kaminoan would be nice, but the Super Battle Droid is just a necessity for the Black Series. Get that Separatist infantry going there, and yeah, just be super cool. My only problem is it's an army builder, and making an army builder a deluxe figure, the new deluxe price going into 2022 here would be close to $40. So if you want to army build these Super Battle Droids, it might be very expensive. For the 2-pack in Empire Strikes Back, we did get the Luke and Yago, oh my gosh, the Luke and Yoda Dagobah 2-pack, and obviously I guess Yoda isn't technically a figure, but they charged the 1 figure price for him, so I'm going to do an actual 2-pack for this, and I'm going to give it to, like I said, the C-3PO and Geonosian Battle Droid 2-pack, and this is going to be one where you can actually swap the heads, which will be super cool. One that I'd just absolutely love to see in the Black Series. And yeah, that would be an insane 2-pack. I guarantee that one would sell for sure, just because of the Geonosian Battle Droid in it, not even C-3PO, but if you can swap the heads on that, that would be so cool. And you're probably saying, but Luke, those would be brand new molds, considering that the ones that we have aren't able to really swap the heads. And honestly, that's perfectly fine, considering that both the Luke and the Yoda had their first releases in these sets being brand new molds. So I would fully expect them to make brand new molds for these figures. And Empire Strikes Back actually brought us 3 carbonized figures, with Boba Fett, Darth Vader, and the Stormtrooper all under the 40th anniversary emblem. And I think we could also get 3 of the Attack of the Clones figures, considering that they also just did 3 Mandalorian figures. So I think 3 for the Deluxe is kind of like how they're releasing them in waves. So I think 3 Attack the Clones one is pretty fair. And I thought, like, what are some Attack the Clones figures I could do for this? You can't really do anybody with, like, a face or anything because it doesn't really carbonize very well. So they got to be wearing a helmet is what I kind of put for my thing. Or not really a helmet, but they just can't have a face, I guess you could say. So for the carbonized one, I put Jango Fett, which would be so cool. He is, of course, a silver armor, so that being carbonized would just look really, really good. I also put a Clone Trooper. And I think this is a pretty good one. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, whether they do just the plain white one or a colored one. Being plain white, they could do like a pearly color, kind of like they did with the Jet Trooper. So I like to see what they do with that. But think about this, they do like the Clone Captain, and you get that nice like vibrant red, kind of like the Sith Trooper on the pearly white. That would look so good together. That would be like a dream of mine, but... And then last, I kind of gave a tie between either the Geonosian Battle Droid or the Super Battle Droid. I would love to get both, and I think Deluxe figure as a carbonized figure is not impossible, as we are getting the Deluxe Heavy Infantry Mandalorian in the Mandalorian line there. So I don't see a Deluxe carbonized Super Battle Droid out of the picture, but we could also get just a carbonized Geonosian Battle Droid, which is also fine with me as well, because they both look really good carbonized. Empire Strikes Back also brought us one vehicle to the Black Series, and that was the Snowspeeder. And I think Attack the Clones could do something very similar in that like same scale, and that would actually be the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, which would be so freaking cool. It's about the same scale. I'm guessing go for about $110, $120, kind of like the Snowspeeder, and it would be pretty cool. Obviously, the Snowspeeder only did come with one figure, which was Dak, but they could include 1 to 2 with this one. I'd hope they'd include Obi-Wan with this, but I think that this 100% needs to get an R5. Considering we haven't got one in the Black Series yet, and obviously he needs to be in the ship, I could see them just doing R5 and like, hey, if you want Obi-Wan, you gotta go get this other figure that's in the line, kind of like they did with Luke Skywalker. But I'd like to get them both realistically. Another vehicle that we could get is the speeder that Anakin and Obi-Wan use at the beginning scene. Now this one is not as iconic as an Obi-Wan Starfighter, but it'd still be pretty cool. I think you'd have to do the speeder, and I think you definitely have to include both Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's not a terribly huge vehicle like the Starfighter would be, so I'd say around $50 for the figure, and then maybe $50 for the actual speeder, and then I guess if you wanted to throw in 2 figures with that as well, it'd be another $50. So I'd say about $100 for the set, and being the speeder and the 2 figures, I think that'd be pretty worth it, and it'd be a really cool set as well. And then last up is an animal. We did get it was a convention exclusive as a HasCon, but we did get the Wampa for 40th anniversary of 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, and I think Attack the Clones could get something very similar. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be as small as the Wampa there, but I think we could get the Rhinor thing from the Geonosian Arena. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's a super cool thing, and I think for the one figure you include with that, you don't have to include a figure, but I really hope they would, and I would give it like an exclusive style for Padme with that ripped outfit, judging that she does wear that at the end. And if you want to get Obi-Wan and Anakin to go with them, you can obviously buy the figures in the normal line and throw them on the Rhinor with her. Rhino. I keep saying Rhinor. It's a Rhino. I just had the biggest brain fart. All y'all are gonna be like, what is he talking about, a Rhinar? Yeah, a Rhino. I'm sorry. Yeah, honestly, that is my picks for what I think we could get. Honestly, I'm really excited. I think that 2022, there's not a whole lot of other media coming out that could fill that spot. Bad Batch will come out, but that will be later in the year, and Mandalorian Season 3 will come out eventually, I guess. But, there's no major movie to come out during 2022 to really fill up those pegs. So I think 20th anniversary Attack the Clones line could happen, and I'm definitely excited to see what they could do. Because Attack the Clones is such an underrated movie for sure. Cannot wait to see what they do with this. But comment down below. Do you guys like what I chose for this? All these are just predictions; they're not confirmed or anything. But yeah, comment down below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.